Okay, the next point goes on with your development of resources. We should always be saying whatever the resources we have in our country, we should be using it in a proper way. You should be looking into what kinds of development, whatever the use you are doing, there should be a productive result out of that. If you are not using it in a proper way, we shall be facing the problem. The country will be facing the problem. The future generations will face the problem. So for that, if at all the resources not developed properly, utilized properly, these are the 3 points which may create the problem. So the first one says it is depletion of resources. The resources, whatever the classifications we have done into, like it is renewable, non-renewable, biotic, abiotic, the replenishing part and all, those comes here into action here. When the resource is used as you want to make only money and not thinking about your future generations, the present resources will get depleted, will get exhausted, will get over, and for the future generation it won't be available. So what is the point here? We are supposed to use the resources in a very calculative way. If at all you are not using in that way, you are going to destroy your own country, or you are not giving anything to your future generation. The second one says accumulation of resources. When we have some of the people who have become too very greedy and they started accumulating it because they have some of the money, they have some of the technology in their hands, the whole of the country doesn't have the technology. Every person doesn't have that much of power, purchase power, money power to use those resources. Whoever is having that money power, he is utilizing that, he is in a capacity of utilizing the technology, he will be accumulating the resources for himself. He is taking it. If you are talking about the minings, are we all into the minings? Can we go off into the mining at the same time? Only few people will go off into the mining, and they go with so very vigorous mining that they keep on mining and they want to make money for themselves. It is not for the use, it is only for the greed. As Gandhiji kept on saying, we shall be having that statement also given here. Gandhiji keeps on saying, please, we have so much of resources in the country, but we are supposed to use it for the need, not for the sake of greed. If you think of greed, where is the limit? Where can we stop? This much is enough for me. I have this much of amount. I can stop my development here. Are we really in that one? There is no limit for greed. So, if at all we are into the greed, it is accumulate. Depletion of resources will take place, and accumulation of resources also in one particular hand will take place. The third one is indiscriminate exploitation of resources. These two are almost the same. If you are accumulating, trying to accumulate the wealth for yourself, so you are indiscriminately using the resources. There is no any limit for that one, and you are like you're using it, and you want the things only for yourself. You're not even thinking about the coming future generations. If the resources are totally over from the land surface or the mining surfaces and all, if they are completely over, then the next generation, it will be very difficult for them to live, sustain. They leave about the development. For living also, it will be very difficult. So we should be very like it is the development of resources. We should develop the resource, but we should not exploit the resource. Exploitation will lead towards these three problems. This is your 3-mark question. You have to explain in a detailed form as we have gone with the explanation. Next, coming to it is the fourth one. It is resource planning. Whenever you have any kind of resource in your house, for example, let us take it as we have a sack of rice, 10 kilos of rice in our house. How is your mother going with the planning for the whole of the month? She has only 10 kilos of rice in the house, and she has to see that the month is totally or satisfactorily she is able to manage. If she doesn't have any planning, today she cooks 1 kilo, tomorrow she cooks 2 kilos, and rest of the rice she's just throwing away because we are not eating it. She's just throwing away and she doesn't have any planning. Within 10 days, the rice will get over. What are we going to do for the next 20 days? Because after 20 days only, after 30 days of total time, we are going to get our rice back. So this is what we are saying. Why are we getting our rice back? Means the nature is trying to give us the resources. It is a particular time we have, and within that particular time, we are supposed to go with renewable, non-renewable, properly use it. That is resource planning. That is very, very important. Without any planning, we cannot do the work, and we should not even do the work because it will lead to exploitation. So we should have a proper planning. This is what the resource I have in my house. So this is how I have to manage, and I have to see that my month is getting completed, my year is getting completed. I cannot overuse it at the time I have and keep on crying when I don't have. So you should be in such a kind of planning. Whatever the resource you have to properly divide it in such a way that you can carry on your whole life properly, carefully, and very peacefully and very calculatively. So the first one goes resource planning in India. We have some steps given here. How are we supposed to go with the resource planning? First one is identification and inventory of the resources. Inventory is the stock. First, like in the whole of India, as we have different kind of soils, terrains, like we have mountain areas, desert areas, coastal areas, everywhere we have different kind of resources, different kind of materials available. In total country, all the minerals, all the resources are not equally available. So here, whatever, in some places, whatever the resource is abundantly available, the other resource is not at all available, it is deficit. The same with the other, where the material, whatever is deficit here, that can be abundant there. And whatever is abundant, in abundance here, that can be a deficit in the other place. So what is the responsibility onto the country now? It becomes whatever the resource, wherever in which of the state or the territory we have, that should be divided in such a way or utilized in such a way that the whole country gets the benefit of it. That is how we are supposed to plan. But we have to find out where these minerals are available, that is identification. Identification of the mineral and stock up. Saying that have a stock of that one. We have 10 kgs, we have 20 kgs. This much of material is available, that inventory of resources we are supposed to make. We are supposed to make a list of that one. These are the steps for your planning. How the resources can be used. First you should see what material is available, how much, what is the quality and the quantity available there, and how can we use it for the future generations. Still we can give it to the future generations. We are supposed to satisfy ourselves. At the same time, we have to look into if we are satisfying our coming generations as well. The second one is evolving a planning structure. We have to go with a structure, saying that how we are supposed to utilize, what is the technology we are having and how we are supposed to utilize it, so that we can show development in our country, so that we can even see the economic and social conditions of the country are raising. The third one goes with matching the resource development plan. See, every state is having its own resource, and that resource we are trying to see that it is the central and the state. We are trying to match the central state resource planning with the central one, because we want to see that in state, whatever the resources we are having, that the central has to make a plan so that that resource can be used in the other states as well, whereas other states resources can be brought into this particular state. So there is an interchange of resources. So we are supposed to match this. We cannot say this particular resource is available in my state, so I shall be developing only this one and I am not giving to any other state. We should not say like that. We don't have the authority to say. Rather, we have to see whatever the plannings we are doing in a state, that should get matched up with the central plannings as well. The last one comes into conservation of resources. The resources should be conserved as well. The first one we were saying, it is identify and use it, we did not say. We have to go with the planning also. Then we have to even see we are conserving it. We have two nice lines given by Gandhiji here, saying that it is whatever is available, the material available, it should not be used or exploited. He says that there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. And the next statement he says, he was against mass production and wanted to replace it with the production of the masses. He wanted to say that it is mass production. He was not, he did not like that mass production. When you say it is mass production, what is it? When you go with the machinery or the technology production, the production is in masses. It is totally large amount you can produce. But he said, please don't go with so much of, don't run behind the technologies like that and don't go into the mass production. Rather see that the masses are producing it. The masses are producing it, matlab the masses is the human. Large number of humans are producing it so that these people are getting livelihood. They are able to earn out of it. If you go with mass production, what happens? One machine is being employed there, implemented there, and only one person is employed and rest of the people are removed from that. That is mass production. And Gandhiji wanted many of the people should be employed and they should be working so that everyone is employed and everyone is earning something or the other, and the accumulation of wealth is not in one hand. So this is how Gandhiji wanted, but somehow everything is changing. But these are the points where we are supposed to take care. How the conservation should go on, the matching should go on, the inventory should go on. This is a part of your resource planning, and this goes for your 5-mark question. So you have to go in detailed explanation of these points. These points you have to write and go with the detailed explanation of those points. Now we shall be looking into the next point, that is land resources. As we have our land, the whole country's land divided into different kind of your different varieties, like it is desert, plains, plateaus, mountains. This way, the land whatever we have is divided into 3 parts. Here, for example, and we are having like it is this is the land, it is 100% and 43% goes into your plains. Plains are something which are very suitable for you to stay, where we can go with all kinds of your activities, like it is agriculture, having your industries, manufacturing, where it is the plain surface available and comfortable for you to stay. So that will be your plain, which we have 43% of the land to be the plains, and we are utilizing those plains for agricultural and any kind of your manufacturing or any kind of your production purpose. The next one goes with 30%, that is your mountain areas. In mountain areas, what happens? It is the mountainous areas. Generally, it is not that very comfortable for us to stay, but we have the facility like from the mountain areas, we have the perennial rivers flowing. Those perennial rivers, like it is from the Himalayas, we have the glaciers being formed, and from there we have the wetting of the waters, and it flows off towards the southern side. So the perennial rivers and the freshwater rivers are formed, and this is the plus point. And upon that we have the tourism also, which attracts these kind of areas, attracts the tourists, and through which our economic conditions can raise. And the next one goes on, the next percentage is 27%, and that is your plateaus. These plateau regions are actually rich in minerals, where we can go with the minings, or the fossil fuels are abundantly available there. So this can be very nicely utilized for the sake of other purposes from which the economic conditions can raise or the development can raise of the country. This is how the land is divided, and this land we are using it in a very nice way.